So these are the definitions of yoga. Just we are quickly going through the definitions. I am not elaborating because all of you already know the definitions of yoga. First is from Patanjali Yoga Sutra, then from Bhagavad Gita, then from Yoga Vasishta, then from Katha Upanishad. Yoga Vasishta is saying is the technique to प्रशमन, to इस जो माइंड है उसको प्रशमन करने का टेक्निक है योगा. ठीक है. तो नेक्स्ट है अरविंद जी ने क्या कहा कि योगा इज द टूल फॉर सेल्फ परफेक्शन. विवेकानंद जी ने कहा कि is compressing one's evolution into single life of a few hours or few minutes also of body one's bodily existence. इसमें जो एग्जांपल आता है वाल्मीकि मुनि का एग्जांपल आता है उसमें कि उन्होंने, या फिर अंगुरीमाला जिनका नाम सुना आप लोगों ने, ये बुद्धिस्ट में बहुत फेमस है, कि उन्होंने कितना क्राइम किया था, कितना पाप किए थे, लेकिन जो योग है, योग साधना करके उन्होंने कहा ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हुआ है. तो उसका एक एग्जांपल इसके साथ कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं. And the last definition I have shared is one of the most beautiful definition. What I have told that in this definition you can find all the 8 components. That is the yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahara, dharana, dhyan, samadhi. In the definition given by Swami Kubalananda ji, simply he has written, yoga has complete message for the humanity. It has message for the human body. It has message for the human soul, and it has message for the human soul. This is given by Swami Kubalananda ji. Humanity means, in the last, humanity means yama and niyam. He is talking about yama and niyamas through humanity word. Body means he is talking about asan. For the human mind means he is talking about pranayam, pratyahara, and for the human soul means dharana, dhyan, samadhi. So mind I have just missed, printing mistake, typing mistakes. So this is the one of the most beautiful definition. Then pranayam, we are moving towards pranayam. Yes, we are talking about pranayam. So pranayam is, there are various concepts, various definitions of pranayam. A simple way to define pranayam is, in layman term, that channelizing our pranic energy in proper direction. Our pranic energy are not directed properly because of the waste that is deposited in our Sushumna or in both the nadis, Ida and Pingla. That's why. So pranayama is to cleanse those nadis and then channelize our pranic energy through proper direction. And as we know, our breathing pattern is involuntary. Okay, means we are not conscious that how many times we are breathing or what we are doing. Is it shallow breathing or is it long breathing or short breathing? We don't know. Whenever you just press your nose like that, you hold your breath, then we know that yes, breathing is something. So through pranayama, our breathing control become voluntary also and become conscious also. The breathing pattern, breathing rhythm, both rhythm and pattern becomes voluntary and we can control them. So Patanjali, what Maharshi Patanjali has said about pranayama, we all know that chapter 2, that is the sadhana path, in 49, sutra number 49, he has written that tasmin sati shwasu prashwasar gatir vichchada pranayama. That is, he is telling that pranayama is the pause between inhalation and exhalation. Just pause. This is a very important term because nowadays we are misinterpreting pranayama. What is pranayama? So pause means he is simply talking about kumbhaka. Simply is talking about kumbhaka. So prana is the breathing activity. Ayama means pause in the movement of breath. Means tasmin shoti shwaso prashvaso yor gatir vichchada pranayama. Okay. After that, he has described in the next sutra. He is telling about ki bahya abhantara stambha vritti desha khala sankhavi paridishta dirgha sukshma. He is telling about pranayama bahya abhantara stambha. Stambha means the kumbhaka. Stambha vritti. Then desha means place. Kala means time. Sankha means what to say, the numbers, how many rounds. And paridishta dirgha sukshma means, paridishta means the matras. Dirgha sukshma means is it long or is it short. So everything he has described in the next formula. Then in the next formula he has also described as bahya abhantara vishashivi chaturthi. That is clearly he is talking about only kumbhaka, which is the hatha yoga kevali kumbhaka. Here inhalation bahya abhantara vishashivi, visha akshepi means irrespective of, there will be no inhalation and exhalation. Only he is talking about kumbhaka, stambha. So that is the only kevali of hatha yoga only. So this is the Patanjali's view, but Patanjali has never described what are the pranayamas or what pranayam we should practice. He has simply described that Bahya Abhantara Stambha. Simple. Then Hatha Yoga is tradition. Now Hatha Yoga, what they have done through the Hatha Yoga is a part of Tantra. So they introduced various techniques, various ways to manipulate or control our breathing pattern. Now, as per Hatha Yoga, prana means life force, of course, it's parts of cosmic energy, and ayama means restraint or control. And in Hatha Yoga, pranayama means kumbhaka, because Hatha Yoga, if you study Hatha Yoga Pradipika, Granda Samhita, even Gurashatakam, in Gurashatakam, it is not, they are not considering as pranayama. They are telling it prana sangayama. The word they have used is prana sangayama. Why? In Hatha Yoga, we can see. Because in Hatha Yoga, they are clearly telling us to practice kumbhaka only. Kumbhaka means holding of breath. And the first sutra of Hatha Yoga Pradipika, chapter 2, what they are telling? They are telling here prerequisite of pranayama also. Athasana dhira yogi vashi hita mitasana Guru Padishta Margana Pranayama Samabhasat. After your mastering in asana, okay, Athasana Dhrida Yogi. Then Vashimita Hitasana. Vashihita means control your senses. Okay. So that you can't get affected through the external matters. Then Guru Padishta Margana, as per Guru's advice, Guru Padishta Margana Pranayama Samabhasat. You practice pranayama. The next sutra they are telling. The next sutra is very important sutra from Hatha Yoga Pradipika. कि चले बाते चले चित्तम निश्चल निश्चलम भवेत योगे स्थानोत्तम अपनोति ततो वायु निरोधय. कि जब हमारा श्वास चलता है, वायु चलता है, तब मन भी चलता है. जब ये भी रुक जाता है तो हम लोगों का जो है माइंड भी स्टिल हो जाता है, स्टैंड स्टिल हो जाता है. इसीलिए योग स्थानोत्तम अपनोति ततो वायु निरोधय. इसीलिए उस वायु को निरोध रोक के रखो. ठीक है, क्लियरली दैट टेलिंग अबाउट कुंभका ओनली. The next sutra is very important, but it is skipped everywhere. The sutra number 3 is very important. The sutra number 3 is telling Yavat vayu stito dehe tavat jivana muchyate. Maranas tasya niskranti tato vayu nirodhay. कि जब तक इस शरीर में वायु है तब तक आपका जीवन है, तब तक आप जिंदा हो. मरणस तस्य निष्क्रांति. जब आप मर जाते हो ना, जब ये वायु निकल जाते हैं, then you are dead. When this vayu is gone, it's coming out from your body, you are gone. That's why you must practice to hold your breath. That's why they are telling yavat vayu sthito dehe tavat jivana muchyate maranas tasya niskranti tato vayu nirodhayat. After that, Hatha Yoga Pradipika starts describing pranayama, that Nari Shuddhi pranayama. They have started describing. So this is Hatha Yogic tradition. So actually pranayama means kumbhak. So whatever we are doing is actually Sahita pranayama. We are trying to perfect or move towards the Kavali Kumbhaka. So this is the whatever we are doing is Sahita Kumbhaka only. It is a preparatory practice for pranayama. So we will discuss more on this. So now I will discuss about the development stages of pranayama. How pranayama was developed from pre-Vedic period, Vedic period to Puranic period, Smriti period to Puranic period, to Hatha Yogic period to today's period. So in Vedic period and pre-Vedic period, pranayama was the part of religious ceremony. That time Puraka Kumbhaka Rachaka was not introduced. This time Puraka Kumbhaka Rachaka was not introduced. Only you have to inhale, either inhale or then you have to exhale, and then you have to recite a complete mantra. This was the only evidence of pranayama available in Vedic period, means Kumbhak. Again, hold your breath, either internal or external, then recite the mantra. So this is the only thing available, only evidence available of pranayama during Vedic period. The next is Smriti stage. Smriti stage, now Gayatri Mantra Pranab Japa became compulsory. And in Smriti stage, one of the most important text is Manusmriti, Yakkavalka Smriti. Manusmriti, in Manusmriti chapter 2, Sutra number 83, clearly written, Ekaksharam Param Brahma Pranayama Param Tapa Savitri Yasto Param Nasti Mana Satta Vidyate. Means Ekaksharam Param Brahma, that one word is Param Brahma, one letter, that is Om. There is a Param Brahma, Pranayama Param Tapa. Pranayama is the greatest austerity, and pranayama actually, if we start practicing real pranayama, it is really hard. because it is actually Kumbhaka. That's why they are referring that Pranayama Parama Tapa. And this is quoted everywhere, almost everywhere, Pranayama Parama Tapa, but it is taken from Manusmriti. So from Smriti stage also, we can find, clearly we can find the reference of Pranayama in Manusmriti. And Sutra number, chapter number 2, Sutra number 83. 283, you can find this sloka. And this is the sloka based on which Kaibala Dham has developed Kriya Yoga. Ekaksharam Param Brahma, Pranayama Param Tapa, Sabatriyasta Param Nasti, Manasutta Vidyate. So Pranayama is the greatest austerity, and what is the best mantra for Atma Samarpan? That is the Gayatri mantra. That is, they have written Savitriyasta Param Nasti, Manasutta Vidyate. So in that period, while inhaling, before Smriti stage, they people or the sages were meditating on sun god. Now they have started meditating on Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. In Ganda Samhita also you can find, while inhaling, they are meditating on Brahma with Bija Mantra. Then for 16 Matra, then for 64 Matra, they are holding the breath, meditating on Vishnu. So retention, during retention, meditate on Vishnu. And during exhalation, for 32 Matra, they are meditating on Mahesh, that is the Shiva. So Smriti stage, so the what I want to say, the concept of Rachak, Kumbhak and Purak was that came into the existence. Then the Puranic stage. In Puranic stage, clearly Purak, Kumbhaka, Rachaka was mentioned. Also that time, the Matra were also mentioned as 1:4:2 or 1:1:1 as the simple Matra in Puranic stage. And in Puranic stage, we can find the reference of Pranayama in Mahabharata also, in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, Sutra number 29, from here. And in many sutras also, we can find the reference of Pranayama. Even in Srimad Bhagavatam, the sutra which about what I was talking about, the chanto number 11, chapter 14, sutra number 32, 33, 34, 35, you can find the when Udbhava asked Lord Vishnu that how people should meditate on you, then Lord Vishnu actually, who was incarnated at Krishna, he was telling the method of meditating on Lord Vishnu or Lord Sri Krishna. That is the sutra number 32, 33, 34, 35. That first you go for, you sit in Padmasana, then you concentrate on the tip of your nostril, then first go for Nari Shuddhi. Yeah, Nari Shuddhi is clearly mentioned. Then Purak, Kumbhak, Rachak, in the sutra it is clearly mentioned. Nari Shuddhi, then you start the japa, the chanting of Omkara. That is mentioned by Lord Sri Krishna in Srimad Bhagavatam. So in Puranic stage also, we can clearly see the concept of Puraka, Kumbhaka, Rachaka. Okay, here Lord Krishna was clearly describing the procedure of Nari Shuddhi. Inhalation, then exhalation, and again inhalation, then exhalation with holding. Everything it is written in that sutra. If you go through the sutra, you will find it. Then in the earlier stages, there were no clock or wristwatch or no wall clock. So they were using the matra, how they used to count the time. Matra means time unit. So twinkling of eyes, they used to have twinkling of eyes, or they used to pronounce short vowel like om or yang, like that, and giving claps. 3 claps means 1 second, 2 days 1 second, like that they were using. So these are the time unit. Earlier people, means in Puranic stage, or in the stage when there was no watch, they were measuring the time. Now, what are the effect of matras? If you go through Garanda Samhita, even Hatyoga Pradipika, the same thing is written. There are 3 types of sadhaka. We come under Adam Sadhaka. So Adam means this is also tough. So this Adam is called as Kaniyasi in Hatyoga Pradipika. So Adam means the practitioner who can do the or practice the Nari Shuddhi Pranayam as 12:48:24 matra. Is Adam means he is the beginner. Okay, this is also very tough. Madham means, and the Adam means the beginner. When they will practice pranayama, they will have perspiration. They will be having sweating in their body, and they will be having erratic breathing also. Madham means when you will be little advanced and you will start practicing pranayama or Nari Shuddhi Pranayama. at 16 is to 64 is to 32, then it will be madhyam. At that time, you will not be sweating, but at that time you will be trembling. There will be a shivering or trembling feeling in your spine, in your entire body. And then you will be more advanced with regular practice, and you will become Uttam Sadhak. Uttam means 20 is to 80 is to 40. 20 inhalation, 80 hold, then again 40, suppose second, 40-second exhalation. So that is the best matra or best ratio of Nari Shuddhi Pranayama, 20 is to 80 is to 40. And Yoga Sadhak always wants to perfect on that. He wants to move towards 20 to 80 to 40. So this is the effect of matras. So matra can move us towards our higher practices, towards our higher spiritual practices. और बाद में इसको कुंडलिनी के साथ भी जोड़ दिया गया, जो एटलीस्ट 1664 मध्यम में आ जाते हैं, उनका भी कुंडलिनी जागरण होना चालू हो जाता है. And for Uttam, their kundalini is always awakened. So Patanjali, so the entire Patanjali is revolving around mind. कि चित्त को कैसे जय किया जाए, चित्त पे कैसे विक्टरी पाया जाए. जब चित्त वित्त निरोधः से शुरू किया उन्होंने, तो प्राणायाम जो है एम्फसाइज जो दिया पतंजलि ने कि कंट्रोलिंग माइंड बाय साइलेंसिंग द प्रोसेस ऑफ ब्रीदिंग एक्टिविटीज टू स्टैंड स्टिल, दैट इज बाह्य अभ्यंतर स्तंभ वृत्ति. और उन्होंने जो बोला तस्मिन् सति श्वास प्रश्वास योर गतिर विच्छेद प्राणायाम, गतिर विच्छेद, तो उसी का बारे में बोला गया है. मैं रेफरेंस दिया हूँ 2.49, 50, 51. These are the sutras of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. And this I have discussed already. Hatha Yoga stages, how they have manipulated the breathing in various ways. In Hatha Yoga Pratipika, there are 8 pranayam. They have written as Surya Vedam Ujjayi Shitkali Shitari Tatha Basrika Bamri Murcha Plavini Ashtagumbaka. So these are the 8 pranayams. In Granda Samhita, they have removed Shitkari because they are telling Shitkari and Shitali are same. So I am removing one. They have introduced Sahita, and Kabali they have removed. They have introduced. So Plavini they have removed. They have introduced Kabali. So there are various kind of pranayama you can find. Samanu and Nirmanu. That is the type of Nari Shuddhi pranayama only. Samanu and Nirmanu mentioned in Granda Samhita. Samanu, the Nari Shuddhi pranayama with beach mantra is Samanu, with Dhoti Karma is Nirmanu. Again, Sagarpa and Agarpa pranayama you can find, Nigarbha pranayama you can find in Hatha Yoga Pradipika. Sagarpa means again beach mantra, with beach mantra any pranayam. Agarpa means without beach mantra. Sahita and Kavala is important. Sahita and Kavala is also mentioned in Hatha Yoga Pradipika. Sahita is when we are practicing Kumbhaka. That is actually Kumbhaka is of 2 types, Sahita and Kavala. Sahita means when we are practicing Kumbhaka with inhalation and exhalation. That is Sahita. And the practice, the pranayam we are practicing is Sahita only. And with a regular practice, जो जिस तरह से लिखा गया as per our scriptures, जिस तरह से लिखा गया, उसमें अगर करेंगे तो automatically we will be go to certain stage of pranayama where there will be no inhalation, there will be no exhalation, only retention will be there. That is the Kabali Kumbhaka, and this is the same pranayama that is mentioned by Patanjali also, but he has not mentioned any name. Bhaya Abhantara Vishashapi Chaturthi. That is the sutra number 52 of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. There will be no inhalation, exhalation, only Chaturthi. The 4th type of pranayam, that is the stambha will be there. So this is the Kabali Kumbhaka, and the ultimate stage of Hatha Yoga or pranayama is Kabali Kumbhaka, only Kabali only. This is the final stage. Furthermore, the pranayama was linked with Kundalini awaken only, because when you will be a Uttam Sadhak, then automatically your Kundalini will be awakened and your body will get stability. You can easily perform pranayama at 20 to 80 to 40. So that is what they have told. So Kabali is the best Kumbhaka, Kabali is the high stage of pranayama. Now, this is a very important sutra. I always used to mention to my students, or in some classes I have mentioned what are the benefits of pranayama. So first pranayama, chapter 2, Hatha Yoga Pratipika, sutra number 16 and 17 I have mentioned. Pranayama uttana sarvarogo kshaya bhavet. Yuktabhyasana yogana sarvarogo samudbhava. Spelling mistake is there. So they are telling, if you practice pranayama properly as per Guru's direction, it will remove all the diseases. But Yuktabhyasana yogana sarvarogo kshaya sarvarogo samudbhava. But if you practice pranayama in wrong way, then it will invite so many diseases. It will not go away. So this is the sutra number 16 of Hatha Yoga Pratipika. Now they have mentioned few diseases due to wrong practice of pranayama. Hikka, shasascha, kasascha, shira, karnakshi, vedana. He hiccup, then breathing problem, then throat problem. They have written kashascha, it is throat problem basically. Shira means head problem. Karnakshi, vedana, kan, ak, eye, ear problem. That is they have mentioned as karnakshi vedana. Bhavanti vivida roga pavanasya kaputaha. If you practice pranayama wrong way, these are the diseases, and many more diseases will be you will inviting. Okay, so reference is given as Patanjali Sutra, Hatha Yoga Pradipika, in Jnana Samhita also you can find. So we need to practice pranayama properly. So there are prerequisites of pranayama. So Jnana Samhita is mentioned beautifully in sutra number 2 of chapter 5, pranayam chapter, sutra number 2, that adu sthanam tata kalang mitahara tata param nari shuddhi tata paschat pranayamana cha sadhayat. So 4 things they have mentioned, 4 prerequisites of pranayama, 4 requirements of pranayama. Sthan, adu sthanam. So sthan is very important, in which place you are practicing pranayama. Then kal means time. Then mitahar you already know. The nari shuddhi is described in both Hatha Yoga Pradipika and Jnana Samhita. Even it is described in Srimad Bhagavatam by Lord Sri Krishna. Before chanting Omkara, you go for Nari Shuddhi Pranayam for 10 rounds. Here also Sri Krishna has also mentioned how to meditate on him. He told first go for Nari Shuddhi Pranayam for 10 rounds with Kumbhaka, then 10 round Omkar. So in this way we have to practice. So sthan means in which place are you, whether this place is crowded, whether this place is full of sound, noise. This is basically referred as sthan. So you need to choose a place, and this place is mentioned in Hatha Yoga Pradipika chapter 1 and in Jnana Samhita chapter 5. This place is mentioned. Then kal, in what time you have to practice the pranayama. So one thing it is mentioned that if you start yoga practices or pranayama practices, it's better to start yoga or pranayama practices always in Sharat and Basanta. Sharat means autumn, Basanta means spring. In both the two ritus, you can start your yoga practices and pranayama practices. Later on, you can do at any time, but you start, if you are a beginner, then start practicing in Sharat and Basanta ritu. Then mitahar, the patha and apatta, what food should we eat, how much we have to eat, means regarding mitahar, Jnana Samhita and both Hatha Yoga Pradipika is saying that 50% of your stomach should be filled with food, solid food, 25% with liquid, and 25% should be left empty. So that is the mitahar. And then what to eat, what not to eat. And Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam, already I have mentioned. In Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam, there are 3 stages of Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam. And as per the level of sadhaka, I have told Adham, Madham, and Uttam. Adham means 12:48:24. Uttam Madham means 16:64:32. Uttam means 20, 80, and 40. So these are the prerequisites of pranayama. Other than this, light, whether this place is, what is the condition of light at this place? It should not disturb you. The light, place should not be with too much light, which will disturb you. So then ventilation should be there. It should not be an enclosed box. So there should be proper ventilation. If you are practicing pranayama in your room, then at least open your window or door so this fresh air can come in. And physical condition, obviously, if you are ill, then if you are suffering from fever, then common cold, then you should avoid some pranayama. Proper rest. And then proper rest means suppose you have done you have done some warm-up exercises, or you have done some other exercises. Immediately don't practice pranayama after warm-up or exercises. Just go for relaxation for 10 to 15 minutes, then go for pranayama. Food and bowel consideration, that is the part of mitahar only. If you eat more, then your stomach will be full. You will not be able to breathe properly. Then if your bowel consideration means if your excretion is not proper, then also you will have so many problems. You will not be able to breathe properly. Dress should be loose. It should not be tight. And combination with warm-up and other exercise means you should practice pranayama. If you are doing other exercises, come and relax for 10 to 15 minutes, settle down, then practice pranayama. And Guru, this Guru Padishta Margana, Guru Prasadana, the Guru's name is in Hatha Yoga Pratipika. I have luckily, fortunately, I have gone through all the shlokas of Hatha Yoga Pratipika and Gyanada Samhita during my level 3 exam. So this Guru word, Guru Padishtamargana word is in Hatha Yoga Pratipika. This word is described for at least 10 to 20 times in Hatha Yoga Pratipika. In Gyanada Samhita also for 10 to 20 times, Guru Padishtamargana, Guru Prasadana, this word you will find. Because so I am trying to tell that what is the importance of Guru. Okay, so the importance of Guru is emphasized by both all the text, not only Hatha Yoga Pratipika, Gyanada Samhita, by Guru Shatakam also. All the text has recognized the contribution of Guru, and that's why they are always saying that you should learn yoga from a Guru who has practiced and who knows the basics of all these practices. Then limitation, obviously limitations are there. I have already discussed that if there is some medical condition in our body, then we should take the guidance of some gurus or someone who is expert in pranayama. It is because wrong practice of pranayama can bring so many diseases. So don't practice pranayama in wrong way. Try to learn it from someone who knows it. So this will be better for us. So this is the all about pranayama. Actually, it will take more than 7 days to if I start discussing about pranayama. So I have just compressed it to 15 to 20 minutes.